Honestly guys, I've broken my tripod, so I'm having to do like a makeshift setup. I mean, I don't think it's broken forever, but it's broken for now anyway. I'm listening to like a really happy song. Hello, welcome back to another Q&A. Okay, let's get these questions up to sort myself out. Got coffee I have. Can I put this down a little bit? I don't really want to move the thingy. I'm texting my mum. That's so rude, isn't it? Right, I've moved all my apps around, so I don't really know where everything is. Okay. What is wrong? Got my questions? Okay. I saved some from yesterday as well because I said to you lot that I was doing this. So I'll do the Instagram ones first. Is it normal for the abdomen and stomach to gain weight first in recovery? I notice the change quickly. I don't know the science behind this, but I'm really interested to hear. But I believe, yes, it's really common. A lot of the time when you have sort of like different sides of things, right? So one side of things is if you're really underweight, as a woman we need to have more fat around the abdomen to help protect our ovaries, our uterus, and all of the life producing things. So it's common for us to have more body fat around that area. So if you have low body fat around that area and then suddenly you're finding that you're increasing your body fat around that area, that's completely normal, and as a female we should have more fat around that area. Secondly, that bump that we often see down there is just our uterus and just part of us. Thirdly, stress and high stress lives, which is often what happens in HA, can cause more fat to be stored around the stomach. And fourthly, I believe that a similar, like in a stress state, but like if we're going to go into another famine, which potentially your body might think that it might, because of how much we've suppressed our hormones and everything, that it will store around there just in case. And also don't stress. A lot of the time it's just water weight, and a lot of the time it's just your perception of what's actually happening, when really our bodies are just trying to recover. And after recovery, 9 times out of 10, or I shouldn't really say that, actually that makes it sound as if it's a statistic, but what is quite common is that people's weight does redistribute. And if you go back to sort of like strength training or something like that, then you can kind of manipulate your body composition a little bit better. But always work with a coach before you do that, and check your mindset. If you are interested, please DM me. Is low intensity workouts twice a week okay after one recovery period? Yeah, I don't see why not. The main things around, like I've always been told through Rini and from my experience and through reading different literature, that look, the workouts aren't the problem, it's your whole life as a problem. No offense, your life isn't a problem, but like how you're living your life is a problem, and working out is only one tiny element of that. So if you have worked to get your period back, amazing, congratulations, but just be mindful that your body's going to be really sensitive during this time, and it might need a little bit longer to really like help with that recovery process. So if you are exercising, no matter sort of like, exercise tends to be a stress in the body. Obviously you can manipulate it dependent on the intensity of your workouts. It can be like yoga, for example, can actually be really beneficial to the body. But if you are really sensitive right now, making sure that the intensity is really low, but adding just a couple in, making sure that you are prioritizing rest, recovery, you're making sure you're having like a couple of rest, like you're sort of like spreading out those workouts and you're fueling for those workouts, plus the rest of your life is quite de-stress, then I don't see why not. Yeah, there's obviously lots of stuff going around. There's lots of people have different opinions, whereas I find exercise really beneficial for the mental health. My mum's just sent me like question marks because I didn't reply to her because I'm doing this video. Let me just reply. Yeah, okay. Were you dry down there before recovery, and when did it go away? So she means in my vagina. Now, in the vagina I would be dry / vulva, right? I'm learning, I'm really trying to push my boundaries about what I describe that area, because I'm reading that Vaginal re-education, right? But I've just made it more awkward by making a thing out of it. I should have just said it. Anyway, she means down there. Again, I've just not done what I've said I was trying to do. Anyway, yes, I was really, really dry, and throughout all recovery and while I was on the pill, I was quite dry, whereas before I even went on the pill, like when I first got my period, I always had like quite a lot of cervical mucus, and that started to come back after I came off the pill, after I increased my carbohydrates, and basically after estrogen slowly started to increase. So yeah, give yourself some time, but make sure you are sort of like fueling yourself carbohydrates and you're resting. That helps the production of estrogen. Did you experience hair loss? If so, when did it stop falling out? Did it grow back? It's split into three. I started recovery not too long ago, and my hair just won't stop falling out. I'm so scared. I used to have a lot of very thick and healthy hair. Yes. So when you have HA, if you think of energy balance like this, in HA you've probably been like reduced energy balance, and you'll probably find that you've probably been in like an energy deficit for quite a sustained amount of time. What happens when we're in a deficit is our bodies will eventually adapt. Oh no, it says my camera might die. Will eventually adapt, but also if you're sort of like starving it, which is kind of what we were, it will basically shift any energy that it does have to things that it needs. So it will always prioritize movement, but obviously keeping your heart alive, keep it like pumping blood around your body to your muscles, that kind of thing. That's where it will prioritize that energy. Having strong, healthy nails, hair, good digestion, and a period isn't vital to keep us alive. So what we find is that it will sort of like downplay and downregulate all of that, which is why we probably find like no period, digestive problems, and we feel like we just look a little bit like gaunt and stuff. So yes, in short answer, yeah, exactly, like it definitely did happen to me. My hair did fall out, but yeah, now it's now it's really good. And I would say, when would it start? I would probably say, oh God, I can't really pinpoint, you know. I definitely noticed a point where, like last summer, I would probably say maybe like 3-4 months into like full proper recovery, loads of carbohydrates, that kind of thing. But remember, I was also sort of like in flexi recovery for quite a while. So I think keep doing what you're doing. As soon as you get your period back, I think you'll be really surprised. You want to just make sure that you're giving yourself enough fuel, you're balancing out your energy, and you're making your body feel safe. Once it feels safe, then it can thrive, then you'll have nice hair. Can I get another one before my camera dies on me? Potentially. Oh wow, we've got a few more. Okay. What ways can you best support your body around exercise in HA recovery? Okay, so the idea of HA recovery, you think we've been in a really stressed state, so lots of exercise, stress, reduced calories, stress, probably being quite obsessive, stress. If you're an athlete, lots of training, stress, maybe disordered eating, stress. There's lots of stuff of stress that is all sort of piled on top of us. And even if it was only sort of like excessive like training and not enough fuel, prolonged stress. So you think like lots of under eating, lots of overtraining, stress. So the idea with HA recovery, and obviously as well, I need to do a disclaimer, you don't have to fit that bill to have HA recovery. Anyone can have HA if they have high stress in their body. So it could be that you've got a really high flying job, and it's really, really stressful, plus you're a mum of however many kids or whatever. Anyway, you think stress on top. HA recovery basically means too much stress in the body. Now, how you can benefit your body is by decreasing your stress. So walks out in nature, grounding yourself, being present, enjoying it, just moving that body, loads of stretching. You know, like you think a lot of stress can cause lots of tension in our body, so loads of stretching and sort of like restorative yoga can help like release all of that stress and really downplay our cortisol levels, and just really, the idea is instead of go, we want to just be like more like vibey. Now, that's where sort of things like yoga can come into place, restorative yoga, even some power yoga, depending if you're gonna like fuel for it and the rest of your life. But like, you can still move your body and recover from HA. You've just got to make sure that you're really resting, you're really recovering, you're fueling yourself, and sort of like the rest of your life is also like reduced in stress. So I would say, if you think of HA and HA recovery is because you're heightened stress and you think exercise and intense exercise is a stress, try to look for exercises and workouts that are actually going to de-stress you. Now, I know a lot of people will think, I go to the gym to de-stress, I know, but lifting excessive weights and hitting squat PBs and stuff like that isn't restorative. It is more stress on the body. So I would say things like I said, like yoga. If you want to go for a sort of like a hike, go for it. Like, how nice is that to be out? But just make sure, if it's like a long one, just make sure you're fueled for it. Yoga, like I said, Pilates, just sort of low impact, low intensity. Just think chill. Think spa workouts, not Spartan workouts. You can use that one if you like. Okay, well, my camera's still going and it's been on thingy for another, so I'm gonna do, before the camera dies, I'm gonna do one from yesterday so I don't miss those. I screenshotted them. How to deal with people's comments on your new body. Now, I love this one. So I think I might do a workshop around it, but I just don't really know the layout of it yet, and I really hope I can get this out before the camera dies. Now, I think some of my main tips here is to remember that every single person is on their own journey, right? And my favourite saying, and I say it way too much, is you only know, oh my God, I can't even remember it. You only know the reality of your perception of your own experiences. Now, what I mean by that is you have gone through, so from childbirth, you have gone through your own upbringing, you've experienced your things, you've learnt different perceptions of other people's things, you've developed your own perceptions, you've sort of learnt, you've been nurtured completely differently, and you're now on this path and you are here where you are right now. That, where you are right now, is based on everything that you've already been through, right? Someone else is on exactly, they might be sort of like the same age, they might be part of your family, but they went through and they are exactly where they are right now based on exactly the same as you, but completely different to you. What I mean by that is they have gone through life learning, nurturing different childhoods, and even if you had got brought up as the same childhood, even as twins and things like that, they would perceive things slightly differently based on their own experiences, so their own perception of their own reality, right? And I think that's a really long-winded way of saying, just remembering that every single person is on their own journey. So what some people might think is a compliment, and remember, we are still in like a huge culture where we talk so much about weight because there's so many ends of the spectrum, right? Like, we do have an obesity pandemic, but also we are still quite we like to feel good and we like to look good, and we comment a lot, like in society, in Western society, we comment a lot about how things look, whether it's pleasing to the eye, and then we are taught what's pleasing to the eye based off media and stuff like that. So someone telling you and making a comment on your body, whether that's positive or not, is based off their perception of their own reality, based on what we've learned in society, whether that is the media, whether that's magazines, whether that's social media or whatever. So their comments based on you is never ever ever a representation of you. It is a representation of themselves. And if it's a negative comment, then I would argue, like, don't take it personally. Just remember that that is something that they need to work on within themselves, because they pass that judgment. If you think like, if you say something negative, that is always something that you need to heal within yourself. And just remember, like, don't ever take it personally, because if someone says something nasty or you feel something is nasty, it's only a representation of them. And then take ownership of, like, you can choose what comments you take on. So if something triggers you, look within and be like, okay, why did that trigger me, and where do I need a little bit more self-love? Because if someone says to you, you're not funny, and you know damn well you're funny, it's probably not going to affect you, because you know deep within that you're funny. Whereas if someone says to you, oh my God, you make a comment on your body or whatever and it triggers you, that's probably a sign that you still need to do a bit more work on how you perceive yourself and your self-worth. And then alternatively, I've forgotten what my next point was, but I'm making this a big long-winded way. Then if it's a positive comment in their eyes, so a lot of the time I don't know about you, if you do come across a lot of people that say negative stuff about your body, then you probably want to look at who you're spending time with. But if someone makes a comment, say, you look healthier, or, oh my God, you look different, or something like that, a lot of the time, they're just, like, they probably don't mean anything nasty by it. So you look different, or you look healthier, like, that's a compliment, right? And I know that a lot of the time, there's so much on the internet, like, stop commenting on people's bodies. But at the moment, the society we live in, this is the society that we live in, we always comment about what people look, whether they look great, whether they look different, whether their clothes are really bright, whether they've changed their hair. We naturally comment on what people look like, so try not to take things personally. And if someone is making a comment, try to see it from a place of love, like, and if it is someone that you love that has made that comment on your new body, just try to be like, okay, it's fine, that's really made me feel like shit, but try not to project that on them. Just be like, okay, cool, this is just because of their understanding. That's really woo-woo and long-winded way of trying to say, don't take it personally, and just sort of like understand that they're on their journey and that is their perception of their own reality, and try to just sort of like feel the emotion, battery exhausted, feel the emotion, and then breathe and go through it.